Welcome to This Is Not a Drill. I'm here at the Youth Strike for the Climate, where I've been asking people what they're doing about climate change, why they're concerned about it, and how it makes them feel.
So we're at the global climate strike, the second global climate strike, and the fourth UK climate strike.
What do you get involved with in order to fight climate breakdown?
So I've been a student at Imperial for the last 4 years, and I've been quite heavily involved with the divestment campaign there. So basically trying to get Imperial to remove its investments in fossil fuels.
And climate change, we talk a lot about solutions and the problem of climate change, but how does the prospect of climate chaos make you feel?
It kind of is like a cloud over me, every day almost. It really kind of, it's I think about it every day, and I'm really lucky to live in a place where it's not going to necessarily directly affect me, but so I can't imagine what it must be like to be in that position. But sometimes I'm just imagine if things were getting better, not getting worse. Imagine how different we'd all be. Yeah, something I think about a lot. But it also kind of, it's weirdly liberating, because you're this is the biggest problem. This is a problem for all of us. It's our lives. We have to fix this problem. So it kind of frees you up a little bit and lets you get a little bit more crazy sometimes, because you're this is what I'm fighting for. So
and you're doing something so important. You're this is straight up.
And it helps you build bonds and stuff. You're all comrades in it in the end. So I think we're starting.
Yeah, it looks like it's beginning. Today because I think it's madness that we prioritise money and profit over the environment, over people's healthcare. So as an asthmatic, it massively affects me living in central London. I'm someone who is really into their sport, and it means I have to take a lot more puffs of my inhaler when I'm doing sport than I would at home in the countryside. Why is it important to you to come to the climate strike?
So then we don't die. And so then when our children are born, the world doesn't explode.
What can people do about climate change?
Well, personally, what I do is I'm vegan, which cuts my carbon footprint in half straight away.
Stop using plastic.
From using plastic and aerosols, anything that's polluting the earth. So, as our generation, it's our future, we really need to sort this out and just teach everyone that we're here, we do have a voice.
It would be better if they planted trees in here as planted people in here, because that's the only way they'll ever cure it, is planting trees.
I think that it's madness that we're still investing in fossil fuels, and we're still so reliant on fossil fuels, which are so damaging, when we have so many other resources that we can use, which are nowhere near as harmful for people or for the environment or for animals.
I want the use of fossil fuels to go down, and I want eco-friendly fuels to go up in consumption.
I think the most important thing is they are prioritising money over literally the health of our population.
Over life.
Over life.
You know what the problem is? Money.
When you have a free market, there's no incentive for those companies to do anything different. Right? Whereas if you had a form of public ownership, when the companies found out that climate change was a thing, I don't think we would be here. You cannot fix it using a free market.
Okay, there are things that government really needs to regulate, for sure, right? And amongst those are emissions, pollution, environmental destruction. We can't, a completely free market would be mad.
Right, I love that you just said that. Great. I love that you just said that the government needs to regulate emissions, because to me that says, okay, these 100 companies which are losing our planet, the government needs to come in and do something about that. And the thing is that this is not about just tinkering. When you say the government needs to actually do things to reduce emissions, that's not a little thing on the top of capitalism, that's a fundamental change.
And this is a battle of ideologies. either. It's not us coming in here saying the government needs to regulate because we believe in socialism, we believe in communism. That's not what this isn't what this is about. This is a real life issue that we've obviously all recognised as a crisis that is happening right now. It's not, oh, we should do this because it's morally right, morally wrong. We're all going to die.
It's quite clear that the cause of the climate crisis is the capitalist system that we have. Climate change is a catastrophe. The cause of the problem must be commensurate with the problem itself. And so I think that leads us to say that the problem with climate change comes from capitalism. This is something which needs a Green New Deal or more. So a Green New Deal is fundamentally about changing the way that we deal with climate change. It's not about small issues. It's about putting the people who are affected by climate change first and facilitating a just transition to a green economy. I think that we need to be talking in these broad terms rather than small specifics about carbon taxes and individual actions and consuming our way out of a crisis which was created by consumption. Personal consumption solutions to climate change completely miss the point.
We can only do so much, so like things like going vegan, go vegetarian, that helps, but there's only so much that we can do. I think bigger companies need to take further action.
The main two things people can do when it comes to climate change as individuals are probably cutting meat out of their diets and trying to reduce their air travel. Apart from that, everything comes down to the way that our global economy is designed and the way that it operates. When you have 100 companies responsible for over 70% of carbon emissions, me buying a different kind of jean or not using my iPhone is not going to fix that. It has to be about transforming the entire global economy, and even though that seems like a big thing, it seems unrealistic when the only option is that or complete ecocide and climate catastrophe. We've got to do something, and it has to be that.
We want the future! Yeah!
How does climate change make you feel?
Climate change makes me feel a bit powerless because I'm only 13, there's nothing I can really do, and I have to rely on other people to do stuff, like the government or people in power, but they're not doing anything about it. And the only thing I can do is reduce my carbon footprint, but it doesn't make much of a difference.
Compared to what the government?
Yeah, compared to what the government could do, or if they did do something, how the earth would change.
It makes me feel quite scared for the future, and if I have children, I don't want them to grow up in a world that's even worse than this one.
It makes us feel angry because it's our future and the planet's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter, and we can't even vote yet, but we're depending on the government to do something for us. We create so much pollution. All the cars are petrol or diesel, there's barely any electric cars, and we should really start reducing our carbon footprint as a country, not just as individuals. And I really think that action should be taken because it's slowly killing us and killing the planet anyway.
We've got nowhere else to go, there is no planet B.
We've got 11 years until we're beyond repair, and it's going to affect us, and they're not doing anything about it, so we need to make a noise about it, so then they sort of have to do something about it. It's so important.